So, welcome to another chairman's update. Sorry I couldn't get to one last week. Work was a bit crazy. And I think what will happen where we've got an owners meeting on the Monday. Sometimes it's tough for me to get a recording of the owners meeting out to owners, which goes in our email on the Tuesday, and then get a chairman's update. So, what will probably happen on the first of each month, or sort of whenever the meeting is, this update will probably just come a day later. So thank you to everyone that came to the owners meeting on Monday. Um, if you weren't there, there's a recording of it in your owners email that come out on the slide decks. There's a couple of big updates in there. So it's one that I'm not going to go through them now. We'll probably discuss them later down the line. But if you want to jump on them and keep up to date. And if you're listening to this and you're not an owner, easiest way to fix it: £5 a month, become an owner of the football club, £50 a year, whatever works best for you. We've got different options there. £1,000 lifetime. Because hey, why not? If you're going to be an owner for the next 50 years, save yourself some money and do it all in one go. So it's one different owners, and obviously if you've got young fans that want to become owners, where the FSA's constitution says if you're under 16 you can't vote, we do a youth ownership at £15. So still looped in on everything going on, but one that legally their constitution won't allow a vote. We didn't want to sort of charge them the full amount. It didn't seem fair. So I know we've got a 1 year old, I believe it's one really, really young youth owner. So shout out to them. I know their dad will be listening there. So that's there. Next up, the volunteer of the month at our owners meeting. People can put them forward, and then we sort out who they are. But volunteer of the month was won by Vic Evans, who's our club photographer. Does a fantastic job. Gives us some great photos to use on programs, social media, etc. So a massive thank you to him. And fan of the month went to Dan Mackey. Reached out when his business was giving something away. I won't touch on what it was yet. If you're at the owners meeting or you look on your email, it's there. But we'll announce some more details down the line. But having that mindset of like, oh, this would be useful for the football club, and then reaching out to us. So wherever you are, the odd things will pop up where you think, oh, actually, that's useful. We look at what happened with Dave on our committee. He was sat in a meeting and someone mentioned he's got to talk about the football club, and then an opportunity came up that will help us achieve sort of getting the facilities in place for promotion. So don't be afraid, chat to people. They might become owners. They might say, hey, did you know about this? It could be some grant, something comes up. I can remember back to Frank where he reached out to British Gas and got a sponsorship. So it's one that have that mindset of just thinking, oh, mention to people about the football. It's something different. Someone might be like, "What do you do for work?" Oh, that's a bit boring. Actually, I own a football club. That's a much more fun conversation, and then chat about that. So it's one. Throw different things out there, chat to people, and see what comes up, because there's lots of different things that can help teams. But it's just that word of mouth and having a conversation. So please, please, please do that. The next couple of owners' meetings have changed dates. So in May, we clash with a bank holiday. So that's moved to the 12th of May. And then in June, we've moved it back 2 weeks to the 16th of June. And that's because it's the AGM. And what happens at the AGM is our financial year runs until the end of May. And so we're just giving it a couple of weeks for Sean, Neil, the finance team to get everything in place so that we can have audited accounts ready to present at our AGM, which is a requirement. It wasn't going to be realistic in sort of a 48-hour job, but it's one that will have that all in place, and then we'll present that at the AGM. We're also going to be looking to do a quarterly open meeting. So we had a really successful sort of public launch meeting where anyone could turn up. That was back in January 2024. I believe, 99% sure that's when it was. It was definitely early in the year. So we're going to look to do them quarterly, so it won't quite go into the full details of sort of financial numbers, everything, but it's one where we want to sort of attract and bring in more people, even if it's just one of getting people, hey, bring a friend. And that mindset of like, bring some people along and sort of see what we're doing, ask some questions, and the more we can spread the word, bring more people into the fold, it'll help us increase where we want to go as a club. Elections, obviously with the AGM elections coming up, So elections will start on the 12th of May. Nominations will officially open then, and that's the time when we're having our owners meeting. So they'll run until the end of the 18th of May, giving people time to put themselves in. Voting will then run from the 20th to the 23rd, and then announcement to owners will come on the 27th. That's obviously for any contested elections. If we have elections where only one person runs, it's just a process straight through. One to keep an eye on is we set the rules out initially from back in that January meeting, I believe, for how the club works. So you've got to be an owner for 6 months to vote, and you've got to be an owner for 12 months to stand. By all means, don't worry if you're an owner and you're like, actually, I do want to stand, but I've only been an owner for 10 months. If any of the positions are vacant, we've still got 3 vacant positions at the moment. Just reach out to one of the committee members and say, hey, I'd like to get involved. Send an email to the club account, and then the committee have the chance to co-opt and vote you in. So don't worry, it might stop you from standing an election, but it doesn't stop you from joining the committee, because we'd love to have some more dedicated people that want to come on, whether it's as a volunteer, whether it's as a committee member. Maybe you just want to dip your toe in for 6 months as a volunteer, see if you like it, and then come into a role. But interested in any of that, interested in getting involved, offer us like 1 hour a month. That all helps, and it builds us more. There's a big picture of what we want to create as this club, but just many hands make light work. So next up is the awards. So we've got our end of season awards party celebration. That's on the 3rd of May in the evening. Still some tickets available, so you can jump onto our online store if you haven't visited that yet. So it's etcfc.square.site. You can jump on there, and then everything's available there to buy. We ship around the world. We've had quite a few orders come in from the US, which is fantastic. I think we've had more US than UK orders. Obviously, several of our UK fans have made it to games and be able to buy stuff on site, which makes the slight difference. And then finally, we've got our last game of the season. I can't believe that's gone by already. So that is on Saturday. There's a coach there, so if you want to come along, by all means, look forward to seeing you. So just send an email to Club Count and book a place on there, because there's a few left. We sold out the coach a couple of weeks ago, so that was fantastic to see. There, that's £15 for owners, £20 for fans, and then it's sure to be a great atmosphere. Fingers crossed. Barnsley have been on great form recently, but if we can get a win, that will be massive for the club, because it will allow us to sneak into the top half of the league. Hatfield Peveril are 1 point ahead of us. They've got goal difference, but if they potentially draw to Bellevue at the weekend, then lose to Barnsley midweek, and we get a win this week, that would allow us to sort of sneak over the line and finish in the top half. Either way, we're talking about finishing 7th and 8th, which is a fantastic achievement for the club, puts us in a really, really good spot. And in 2 weeks' time, once the season's ended, not just for us, but for all teams, I'll have a little recap on here of how we've performed in the second half of the season, because that's really interesting to know. Obviously, we all remember back, if you've been successful, you don't remember back this far to the start of the season, but those first 6 games were tough, built a lot of character, allowed us to get to where we were. So, hey, good things come to those that wait, but we're in a much, much nicer spot now. And it's one that form in the second half of the season has been really, really positive. So I'll break the league season in half and say, hey, every team in their last 14 games of the season, where would the league table be? And that will be a really, really interesting scenario to see, well, how did we perform if we forget the first half of the season? Because that's the form you hopefully take into next season. But yeah, as always, up the rocks. Really, really hope I see you on Saturday. Let's make it a great end of season celebration.